of tabs open. Feel free to leave questions in the chat. I'll answer them for you guys. But it's how an agent booked 107 appointments with just 10 months at $300 a month in ad spend. Now, there's closings in here, right? I know there's 7. There's a lot of people he's working with good clients, right? He's a lot of people under contract, but we're going to stick with 7 closings and 107 appointments, which is pretty good. And we're going to talk about, we're going to break down everything. What do they do? What was the call script? Everything. So guys, this will be recorded and uploaded to the course area, but just take notes. I want you guys to apply this, and I'm sure that if you guys just take everything within this course area, it's gonna, help you guys tremendously with us. So one thing that we've seen is a recurring theme between all successful customers is they just do one thing and they just follow up. So we'll talk about that today. So how does an agent book 107 appointments in 10 months with just $300 a month in ad spend? Let's talk about that right now. So background, this agent's from Calgary, Alberta. He joined us in the beginning of March 2020. In his first 10 months, he was able to book 107 appointments. 14% of these appointments were about listing appointments. So we all want seller leads. You're also gonna have a fair share, about 15 to 20% of your leads over the span of 1 year, of course, will be move-up buyers, strictly sellers. You'll have that. So just be patient. But these LSA ads that we're rolling out soon will have those seller leads in there for you. But the question is, how did he do it? What's his follow-up process? What scripts did he use, right? That's what we're going to talk about, because the number one thing that we need to focus on is how can we book appointments? So I'm just going to check the chat quickly before we move any forward. Here is Kevin. How do we get a link to request Google reviews? Yeah, so there's an article on that, but I'll show you guys later at the end of today's call how we can get those Google reviews, because it's only available in USA right now, and they're going to slowly reveal it to Canada. So if you're a Canadian agent on this call right now, get those Google reviews coming in, right? If I can almost guarantee that if you have 500 Google reviews by the time like Canada's launching it, you're going to get like 3 calls a day from sellers. Like it's pretty much been validated by enough agents. So Google reviews is like the name of the game right now, right? And they don't have to be from clients. They don't have to be from closings. So some variables to consider, all right? This was during like the peak of COVID, like last year, March, like it was a peak of COVID. Like real estate was like shifted. I think it was like, you couldn't even, like real estate was dead, right? Like it was in Calgary, Alberta. Each market, of course, reacts differently, right? Like results would vary differently in a market like San Diego. There's much more competition, right? But in the end of the day, like it's still, the Calgary market isn't by any means, like it's not like undersaturated. This definitely has a fair share of real estate agents. It's like most other markets across North America. So it's like your normal every single day market. Now, these were received during a seller's market. A lot of agents actually pushed the buyer leads away, whereas Rohin just kept accepting them in, and as a result, he still picked up a lot of seller leads. But when we just want sellers in this time period, there's other better methods of getting sellers. So it's really the seller game, which I'm a big proponent of, because you get buyer leads. It's all through attraction marketing. So we'll touch upon that at the end of it, but it's all through attraction marketing, because someone has to really, believe that you're going to be able to, get them the results they want for their home, right? So that's what we've seen. These results were achieved without an in-house ISA or lead follow-up service, right? He followed up with every single lead himself with exactly what's taught inside the program, exactly what all the scripts, all the call recordings, pretty much followed it to a T, started booking appointments. He only used one lead source, which is Facebook ads. I'm sure he might have used the organic lead gen at some point throughout the year. Highly recommend getting that up and running very fast. But again, he's just stuck to what worked, right? Like the whole, like when we look at like a sales process, so everyone here is here to, make money, of course, right? The biggest thing I've seen is that we look at just like let's take this is a sales process, right? This is step 1, step 2. There's a series of steps in that process to turn $1 into profit, right? Like into $3, $4, $20. And Facebook ads is just a small step in that process. There's a whole series of steps that we all forget. And when we see like, oh, I'm not getting results, and we see in the CRM, there's like no follow-up, there's like the number one reason, right? So we'll show you guys that today inside the CRM. But he was just willing to play the long-term game with Facebook ads. Even they were top of funnel leads, but he made a good amount of profit from them. And he's going to start scaling them, and he'll make even more. So another thing I want to mention is, there's not like, just do what we're going to talk about in this presentation today. It's going to get you about a 1% conversion, right? So on 1,200 leads a year, you get about 12 deals, right? Not too impressive, but 12 deals, I take it any single day of the week, right? And what's to consider here is that if there was like a YouTube channel in place and we were blasting that database, the CRM, with like, like a video, like, hey, I just posted a YouTube video, go check it out, you're providing value, right? And if he was doing the small things, like if he was like friend requesting every single lead, I'm sure he might have, but these are just in generic examples. A very optimized Google My Business profile with a lot of reviews, I'm sure he could have made that 2 or 3%, right? So we have agents in our program that are doing 2 or 3% conversions, but they have everything rolling, right? They have the YouTube channels, they're blasting their email list, like they're going really above and beyond. This had a very simple ad campaign, right? Simple homes list. That's what the team set up. There was seller leads in the system, right? Like from that leads generated, there was seller leads, right? So it's important to understand that there will be seller leads in there. There was over a dozen that we tracked. So I think the big thing is like as well is the agent has tested different follow-up strategies, right? Like what worked for him may not work for someone else. But we can pretty much say in this presentation that if you just follow everything in this presentation, you're gonna start to get appointments, right? Results came in well over month 4, right? Partly as well due to like the COVID restrictions, right? In the first 4 months, like March 2020 to like well throughout summer, everything was pretty much shut down. So now things start to open up again. If you've built up that database from last year, things are going to start to really flourish for you, right? That's what we've seen as well. The next thing is that they're actually agents in the same market that haven't got results yet. So it just shows that there's money to be made as long as you follow the process. So we'll dial on that process. The mindset sort of I picked up is like, before we can run, we need to walk. So let's not skip to the results right away. Let's not skip to the closing. The person came into your sort of ecosystem, they never heard of you. Let's just start by getting them on the phone, take that phone to an in-person appointment, and then the process. Let's stop treating every single person as like, I got money in my hand, let's go close on a deal, because that's not how it's going to work. And if you can rework your mindset to this, you're going to be successful. That's what I've seen. The key variable is it's not the ad, it's the sales process, right? So I just want to sort of drill that in, because we get a lot of like, can you change up my ad? Can you do this? But in reality, it's just that before we change up any of the advertising angles or anything, the process is proven. Just make sure the follow-up is dialed in, right? And a good example of this is that if your follow-up is dialed in, right, you know that you can consistently turn $1 into 3, 5, 10, 20. You don't have to worry about the ad because you're making money on the back end, right? And the same thing can be also said as well as like the average LTV of a real estate customer. So if let's say you transact with someone, is about 7 times the LTV. So if I bring in someone and they close, they're likely gonna come every sort of 5 or 6 years. They're either gonna come back to you with relisting their home or buying investment property, whatever it is. Also, you might get some referral kickbacks, right? Or they'll refer you more business. It's about 7 times the LTV. So you want to think about it from that perspective, is that these are really long term, like profits down the road, right? So there's some math, right? Generate about 1251 leads at about a $5 lead cost on average, 62.55 spent, right? Conversation rate over the span of 1 year was 60%, because your conversation rate is going to go up over time as well, right? Because the system's trying to text them, voicemail them, email them, right? He booked about 107 appointments. Now it could be more. I just have gone with the minimum case inside the CRM. There could probably be much more. Appointment rate was about 8.55%. What we want to recommend, 10%. So he's basically at about 9 almost. 10% is ideal. 10% is good. 15% is like superstar, right? Like if you can book 15% of your leads and appointments, that's very good, right? So if you can book 10% of your leads and appointments, that's really good, right? Because you're getting people on the phone. And As far as I know, this is probably an understanding, like 7 closings right now, but there was several under contract. There was several clients, but I just have 7 closings right now. So 62.55 in and 7 closings out. Like, imagine, like, that's good. Like, your cost per closing is under $1,000. So you're making like a 5x return on that right away, right? If your closings are like around 5K commissions, right? It's well below Zillow, it's well below Opcity. The only difference is that it's gonna take a little bit longer to work them, right? And it's gonna take a little bit more work. But if you just detach yourself from the work aspect, like, I don't want to call up leads, and you just think of it as like, I'm solving for a profitable machine where I'm putting $1 in, getting 5, 10, 15, $20 out, which I can later replicate this through other agents that I bring on. It'll be a drastic difference, right? So that's what we told the agents, is that you might not want to follow up the leads right now, but that's really where the money's made. So again, he spent 62.55, got 7 closings out. Imagine if he doubled that. Imagine if he tripled that, right? So I mean, you can really predictably scale your business if you just solve for the appointment setting process, right? So let's talk about the Facebook ad strategy. Was there anything special on the Facebook ad strategy? No, right? It was just strategy just to generate a high number of leads, play the numbers game, right? And use aggressive follow-up to filter buyer and seller leads, right? A simple buyer leads campaign was initially set up to generate commissions, which can then be put toward the more expensive but higher quality lead seller campaign. I was talking to my friend as well. He runs a big team out of San Diego, and he mentioned that, like, before generating any seller leads, can you even convert buyer leads online? Right? Can you get them into appointments? Because if you can, then it's going to be even harder for seller leads, and you're going to end up throwing a lot of money testing new things, right? So if you can't book appointments with buyer leads right now, it's going to be even harder with seller leads, right? Believe me. So let's just make sure that you can book appointments here. And if you're closing, if you know that, okay, I'm putting money in, it's profitable, I'm making money out, this is a profitable lead source for me. Now I'll try out seller campaigns. Now I'll try out different angles of seller campaigns, right? That can be done. Or, right, just like, here's what I recommend, in my opinion, is solve for Facebook ads, which a lot of us think it doesn't work, but it's one of the most profitable lead sources. We as a company use it. We use lead formats. We have aggressive sales follow-up, right? We have YouTube content. We have the most. Our ads don't produce the results. Our ads just introduce people into our world. Our sales process produces the results. Same thing with the agents that get results with us, right? So it's so similar, but it just, no one's willing to do the things that really drive home the revenue, right? So a simple buyer's lead campaign which is set up to get commissions, which can then be put towards again, I don't think I repeated it, but a more higher quality seller leads campaign. We all want sellers, so my opinion, solve for buyers, get them rolling in, right? Then you could start to hire agents and then start focusing directly on sellers, as in solve for this, and it's going to get profits rolling in. And then for sellers, Google LSA ads is going to be your best bet. So start getting those reviews in, and we're going to start launching it. And you should start to get, if everything is optimized on your end with the Google reviews, you should start to get inbound calls from sellers. And that's probably one of the best things that can ever happen, right? So that's another thing I want to mention, is that leads where they're looking to buy or sell that were 3 months out were put on long-term drip campaigns. So leads that were looking to buy and sell in less than 3 months were worked on exclusively by the agent. So there was drip campaigns, there were texts, emails, and pre-recorded voicemails. So if you're not adding in voicemail drops to your CRM right now, highly suggest doing that right after this call, because you're going to lead to a lot of people calling you back. It's like, hey, I just got your voicemail, right? So here's the thing, and let me open up some minds here. Lead comes in, they'd never heard, let's say your name is John, right? No one has heard of John, and there's literally no reason why they should work with you. Now, the CRM is gonna, on your behalf, text them, email them, voicemail them, right? Now, if you want to get 2 or 3% conversion rates, you have a YouTube channel that's providing value. There's training on that coming soon at the Real Estate University. It's something that's gonna really just blow up your conversion rates, right? Because you're providing value. You're email blasting your database with YouTube content every single week, right? You have a process in place, either through a virtual assistant or you do it yourself. You friend request the leads in your database, right? I mean, most of us only get like 60 to 80 leads a month from ads, right? Friend request them. If you're running organic, friend request those people. and start posting that same YouTube content on your Facebook profile, right? You're gonna start to really get closings coming in fast, right? And you're gonna start to get people that want to work with you, right? Because you're giving them value. It's like the sales already done before they even speak to you with the content you put out, right? A lot of us are not, we're scared to get in front of camera. I just think are you scared to make money, right? So that's just how you want to rethink it. Again, that's the ad copy. You can probably look at your guys' ad accounts right now, pretty much the same ad copy. Homes list under the median price, gets a lot of people into the CRM, and great follow. We were probably wondering why we're giving this ad copy away. Everyone says all the ad copies are the same. It just really comes down to the follow-up. We're just trying to introduce people through a lead magnet into our world. And the number one magic is like the most yield is going to come from your sales process. How are you going to follow up? What kind of sales process you have? That's like the magic right here. So the ad copy is basically the exact same, right? Now let's talk about the follow-up process. I think this is probably one of the most valuable things you can pick up from this is that Rohin just followed a simple principle. He called every lead that came in to the automated response. So all of us, as soon as someone responds to CRM, they say, yes, right, I'm interested. Give me a homes list. What does Rohin do? He calls them right away, right? He calls them, and he sometimes calls them like 3 times back to back to back, right? And the next day he's calling them 3 times back to back to back. So there's like your answer right there, which is just aggressive follow-ups, right? Like he didn't have to cold call this lead. They said, yes, I'm interested, send me a homes list. I might not be approved right now, but I'm in the market to start looking to homes. The benefit of this is as well is that because they're early on as well, they're not really necessarily working with other agents. So of course that's definitely a plus. But yeah, they've expressed a high interest, right? Instead of having a conversation by text, he just called them. Now, at the same time, guys, like there are agents in our program that crush it with just texting and no calling at all. So it's about testing, right? It is very important to test. So here's a good example of like Rohin calling the lead. I'll talk about his script very shortly, and why it's worked so well. But let's just see if you have any questions right now. No. So let me actually go to the Ramadan Sheikh. Let me see here. Might have spelled it wrong. See if we can play that call. All right, so like this lead came in, right? For example, in December 7th, they say, yes, I'm interested in homeless. Outbound call, 35 seconds. They called them back for 7 minutes. Booked an appointment and got them set up on a home search, right? Get them in your ecosystem, but continue to follow up. A lot of agents, they get them on their ecosystem and their drips and like their home search, but they don't even follow up. So make sure you're still making touch points after that and book the appointment in, right? That's right. Thanks for confirming. Hey, this is a friendly reminder that we're looking forward to it. Another call to confirm the appointment, right? As well as sending the text as well to make sure you get this. Just touching base, right? Just still following up aggressively, right? So he has them on the home search, but he's still following up. Let's actually let me go over the script first, and then we'll talk about the call recordings. So here's how I would do it, because what's gonna happen at first is that you're gonna call and then you're gonna get like these objections, right? So when I'm calling leads, it's like I come with a tonality, right? That's my benefit as a salesperson. I can hit them with my tonality, right? So it's like ring ring, hello, who is this? Is this, like, for example, is this John? Yes, it is. Who is it? John, this is Prab calling from ABC Realty. The reason I'm actually calling you today is I received a request for a list of homes under 400,000 on my Facebook post. I just want to make sure I send that over to you. Is that okay? Yeah, of course, yeah, right. And are you currently planning to make a move in the next 3 to 6 months? And now what I'm doing right now is qualifying the lead, right? We all want qualified leads as agents, but in my honest opinion, we've spent millions of dollars on this. I've personally found that qualifying them in person is always better than just making them fill a form out, because just think about it logically. Why should someone fill out a form to work with you and they don't even know you, right? That's just like the answer right there. So, like, are you currently planning to move and make a move in the next 3 to 6 months? Yes, we are. Do you currently rent or do you own your home? Yeah, we're currently renting, right? Are you currently working with the agent right now? No, I'm not currently working. John, would you like me to send the latest updates on new properties in your area to your email, right? That includes all the distressed sellers, bank or company-owned properties, which you won't find online. It actually doesn't cost you anything, and you aren't obliged to buy. Does that interest you? Yeah, sure. So that's where you're coming with your expertise, saying I have access to this, so I can send it over to you. Okay, and when do you think we can get together for a quick 20-minute sit down? I offer a free, no obligation meet and greet. We can discuss the buying process, right? We can even do it on Zoom. Would you be open to that? Uh, the guy's like, yeah, you can ask me here on the phone. Because of course, just want to, just get it done. John, the reason I gotta actually ask is because I gotta fill out a form which has fees to find exactly what you're looking for, right? Like, would tomorrow work for you? I've got 4 o'clock and 5 o'clock. Give them 2 times. Yes, right. Yeah, where's your office located? So that's how you would set the appointment. Now I want to just go ahead and show you another resource that we can cover. Is if you go to real estate university, just go to the sales and lead conversion. There's like 5 recorded calls. I mean, this is all you really need. That's pretty much it, right? So like it really just comes down to the sales and lead conversion. And that's it. So I mean, we can play this call. And I'll start to play this, and then I'll touch base once it's done.
Hello.
Hey, who is this? I missed your call.
Hi.
Just a few minutes
Is
ago.
it Ramadan?
Yeah.
Hi, Ramadan. It's Rohin here with Maxwell Letters. And the reason why I was calling you is because I received your request for a list of properties for sale in Edmonton as a report. And I wanted to send it to you to your email. Is that okay? Hello. Hello.
Hello?
Hello.
Yes,
Can you hear me now?
sorry. Yeah, I'm hearing you now. Go ahead.
Okay. So my name is Rohin, and the reason why I was calling you is because I received your properties for sale in Edmonton under 400,000, and wanted to send it to your email. Is that okay?
Okay, the list. Yeah, sure.
And are you guys planning to make a move in next 3 to 6 months?
Yeah, if we get something we like, yeah, for sure.
And do you currently rent or you have your own house?
No, I'm just renting in the rent house.
Okay. And if you were to move, when do you think that might be?
It depends. If I get something I like, it probably within the next 2 months.
Okay. And do you have a realtor to help when the time is right?
Sorry, what's that?
Do you have a real estate agent to help when the time is right?
No, I can't say no.
Okay. And would you like me to email you the daily updates of the homes that matches your home buying criteria from all the real estate companies? And my list will include all the bank foreclosures, company-owned properties, or distressed sales. And it's a free service, of course. You're never obligated to buy. Would that interest you?
Yeah, but the limit should be. I said less than. I found it's less than 400, but my limit is around the 325. That's where I am approved. So you have to go around there instead of sending me everything. Maybe I don't care even if it is everything. I can look around. I can identify which property is suitable for me, but it should be in the north side actually. Not everywhere. The north side, maybe in case in the east, but in the west. But most of the time, where I'm looking for is the north side. Yeah, that's good. That's good.
I can definitely send you the list with the properties that fits your budget and requirements. So when do you think we can get together for about 20 minutes so I can take down what exactly you're looking for?
You mean to sit together?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Are you available tomorrow?
No, tomorrow I'm for sure I'm very busy tomorrow. But
how about day after tomorrow?
Okay.
I just want to bring up one point here is that I've heard like agents as well say like they don't push for the appointment, right? Sometimes it's like yeah, Roman, just shoot me a message when you want to book a call with me or when you speak with me. Like there's literally no reason why they should do it. So another little tip is just push for the appointment, right? Like tomorrow, 4 o'clock, 5 o'clock, good, right? Think of it as a perspective of a lot of people want to buy and they want to sell, but they just don't know it yet. They just need someone to come in and help them, right? As a real estate agent, you're an expert, you are there to help them. So that's just one way I would recommend. I picked this up a lot when I did a lot of call audits for agents is that just push for the appointment. Hey, like 4 o'clock or 5 o'clock open tomorrow? Are you open for it? I'm just going to quickly finish off this recording and then we'll talk.
Day after tomorrow. Okay.
I'm available in the afternoon and in the evening.
In the evening only?
I can meet in the morning. Day after tomorrow, my morning is already booked up. But I can meet
the day after tomorrow.
You mean Thursday?
Thursday, yes.
Yeah, Thursday in the morning, I'm available at around 12 again. Yeah, my morning is busy.
Okay,
yeah, 12 o'clock.
Okay. Yeah, no problem.
Yeah, and yeah, if you want to meet day after tomorrow, that is Wednesday, then
I will have difficulties to make it to work on, I think.
I'll send you a text message.
So I think that's pretty much it, really. But like that's how easy it is to set the appointments. Like sometimes you just gotta get people on the phone and that's it, right? So like I've also done the same process. I dialed up I think 114 people, booked like 14 in appointments, 15, right? So it's not hard. It's really easy. It just comes down to implementing and taking action. So it's just really about getting people on the phone and calling them, right? So just keys to note is that like the objective of this call was just to book the appointment, right? The lead objected about speaking over the phone, right? At the end, I didn't play it to that point, but because like Rohin tried setting the appointment and the lead was just like, no, can we just do it on the phone right now, right? Because he wanted to get off. But the way you handle the objection is like, hey, I actually got to fill out a form that has fees attached to find properties so that it did force the lead to sit down, right? Again, it's just about handling objections, right? Rohin just showcased the value of his services by mentioning that, you know, he will be able to show properties that aren't listed online. Sales 101, right? Position yourself as the expert and take over the conversation and never be afraid to push for the close, which is in this case, the close is the appointment because we know that we can help out the buyer or seller, right? So follow-up conducted is that Rohin implemented the sales script with every single lead that responded to the initial text campaigns. This was successful action that he just repeated every single day. It resulted in 107 new appointments less than 10 months. Since the open rates of the text messages are 98%, he just pretty much focused entirely on getting responses from the text messages. And then he implemented calls to qualify and emails to send out custom homes lists. Just literally did it over and over again, made ROI. So key thing just to note here is just you got to follow up. And in my honest opinion, if I was the team lead and I was trying to tell my agents to just, you know, maximize my ROI as a team lead, these leads haven't responded yet, right? 406 people have not responded yet. I would literally get people hammering the phones, calling up these leads and making smart lists and getting a power dialer and just hammering through these leads, right? Like you'll be surprised at how many people will be in there and it's like, yeah, like, you know, I've been looking and no one's even reaching out to me. So are these people all going to be quote unquote ready to go? No, right? But what the game we want to play here is numbers game. I'll show you guys the numbers and how they work out. is another example is like lead just given a call after you just said sure, right? And most agents would just leave a text reply. Just Rohin picked up the phone and called, boom, booked appointment in. The key is to call right away as soon as they say yes, right? Not like to wait a day, not to wait 2 days. Call them right away. Appointment literally took 3 minutes to book, right? 3 minutes and 1 second to book. Is 3 minutes of your time worth an appointment? Yes, right? So lead was just given a call after just getting a house to live in as the response. Although the call failed, the lead gave a call back, right? It took a 7 minute and 58-second confirmation to book an appointment. Literally less than 10 minutes is booking appointments predictably every single month. Now, if you want to maximize the number of appointments you book, start up a YouTube channel and start to email blast your leads. So let me actually show you guys how to do that quickly. You literally go to contacts, right? You can choose your whole database here. Select all 1,300 leads. Literally just send them SMS, send them an email. You guys, all you got to do is, okay, proceed, right? From your name, from your email subject line, right? Make an email subject line pretty catchy. Here's what I do. I go to custom values. I go to contact first name. I copy paste this, put in the email subject line, put a dash and say, hey, please review this. You're gonna have a really high open rate in your emails. Secondly, I got this, please contact first name. Hi, John. I just made a quick video on XYZ, made a quick video on how to get the top 5 mistakes buyers make in the, Rhode Island area, right? Get a link to your YouTube video, screenshot your YouTube video, post it as an inline image, right? I'm sure we all know how to do that. Send it out to your email list and start to see responses from people that are saying, John, I love your YouTube video. They're not going to negotiate with you on your commissions. Nothing. You're gonna be an expert. You're gonna position yourself. That's, in my opinion, the better game to play, right? So it's really about not about the leads, not about the ads. It's about what's your sales process, right? So hopefully this presentation did a little bit of, shared a little bit about what is required to convert leads. We all want the highest quality leads, but they come with a hefty price, right? We can generate Facebook leads at a fraction of the cost, but just put more time towards the follow process and achieve the same results, and it'll be hyper profitable. I'm all about, as an agent, like what gets the most yield in terms of profit, right? Like you can do all that, you can get consistent business coming in, but it's really about profit, right? Like if you really sit down and see your cost per acquisition, cost per closing, you're probably going to be having the cheapest in Facebook ads, like literally, right? Now, of course, you can argue that door knocking is really profitable as well, or open houses. That as an agent, you want to have every single lead source coming in, because when we look at a sales process, like I said earlier on, the lead source, like you can have Facebook ads, LSA ads, you can have Craigslist, Facebook organic, right? Door knocking. All these things are just coming into your world, right? That's just one part of the sales process. So let's actually talk about this. Facebook leads, everyone's really pretty much running them right now. They take 4+ months to convert typically. There's a 1 to 3% conversion rate. Most of our agents here will close at about 1% over a span of 1 year. $3 to $5 per lead, depending on market area. Some markets are higher. Of course, the markets that are higher also have higher ticket prices for homes, right? The lead is just fine as name, email, phone number. There will be some junk in there. That's part of the game. Just focus on the 20% that are going to work with you. 70% buyers, 30% sellers. That's in most markets. Some markets will be 90% buyers, 10%, right? So that's that. Now, PPC leads, Google leads. We always say Google leads are the best. Google ads are the best. Here's the thing about Google ads. When we talk about companies like Zillow and Realtor.com, they're outbidding almost every single real estate agent in every single market, because they're pretty much incentivized to do that. So when an agent comes in, unless they're in a smaller market, it's hard for them to compete. So everyone's having to go upstream, right? So that's the one thing I want to mention, is that it's very, very expensive to run those. But one thing that we are sort of adding in is for Google portion is the LSA ads, right? And that's going to be the Google portion, Google quality leads. The highest quality lead is going to be rolled out to every single customer. It's going to be a sign up form. You guys can get access. Like I said, though, get the Google reviews flowing in, so it will be giving you a better chance of success. And then the premium lead portal, of course, that's like Zillow leads. That's just LSA ads, right? Like we're launching them out. LSA ads are actually higher quality, right? Because they're literally calling you. But like I said, it's directly tied to Google reviews. So I want to open this up to questions as well. I want to, before I get a question, just actually, I want to go over the opportunities. You can see that the agents, like they have leads, they're using this CRM properly, right? Um, and they're filtering out for fake and wrong numbers. They have listing leads here, right? And they have, most importantly, they just have a lot of leads, right? They have a lot of leads which are leading to like that 1% conversion, right? Like, think about it. You get 1,000 leads, you pay $5 a lead, $5,000 to get 1,000 leads. You can close 1% of the leads is 10 closings. Who wouldn't want to put $5,000 in to make 10 closings, right? Like, I don't see a better ROI than that in almost a lot of lead sources. If you want to close, if you want to close 2% of leads and 3% of leads, make sure your follow-up process is better, and make sure you have processes like, like I can give you some examples right now of what top agents do. They have virtual assistants that friend request every single lead coming in, because of course they are coming from Facebook. They're going to be found on Facebook. They're sending each lead a voice message that's already pre-recorded, and the VA sends it in each message saying, "Hey, it's John. Just want to touch base with you. Thanks for friend requesting with me. If you have any question about real estate, let me know." Right? Hitting them from every single angle. They have a YouTube channel that they're sending out weekly content to. YouTube probably is the highest quality leads in my opinion, because you've already done the selling with the video. And they're also inviting all their Facebook friends to a local community Facebook group, which they go live in every single week. These agents that do this process sometimes close as high as 8% of their leads. So that's crazy, right? And that's literally what it takes. So get these things rolling. A lot of time, these content and these content ideas and the friend requests, it won't yield right away, but it's going to start to compound. Those are some ideas. Hopefully on today's call, we sort of went over this. One thing I would pick up is start to call leads if you haven't done so already, and get those appointments booked. There should be around a 10% appointment booking rate, right? So aim for that every single month, and you'll make a lot of closings. If you're making a lot of closings, put more into ads. Making, if you're still making money from that, put more into ads. If you still can't hire, if you can't handle all the leads, start to outsource. Hire virtual assistants, hire in-person assistants, hire agents, right? That's how you would scale. And that's what I've seen the top agents do. That's why some agents come in and they scale so fast, right? So there's a lot of resources. If I go into calls right now, right, just watch in the free organic marketing. There's a lot of organic lead gen here, right? There's your organic landing page. Start question the Facebook group, blast that out to your email list. Get them the CRM, right? Or do the organic lead generation campaign, right? And we also have these sales and lead conversion. These 5 calls have like gold mine of knowledge. Like, there's people saying, "I'm just looking right now," and the agent literally just goes right past that objection, right? So it's very important that you just, view these. I'm gonna just go over some numbers here. The ROI justification. When we just think about this way, like 1,200 leads, like Rohin had about 1,200 leads, right? $300 a month ad spend. How many looking to generate per month? Let's say we're generating 100 leads a month, right? For $500 a month for $5 a lead average, which is the average lead cost. Commission rate, we're gonna stick with 2.5. What's the median home price in your area? Let's go with 500K. What's your target conversion rate? We're gonna go with 0.5%, not even 1%, right? Agent split 80-20, broker split, right? So with this metric, the total cost per month is about $500. The total cost per year is 6K. The total number of leads is going to be approximately 1,200. The total number of conversations is going to be 480, right? The total number of appointments per year is 48. It's pretty low, right? Like I just showed you about 107 appointments for 1,200 leads. It might even be more than that. The total number of closings is about 6 at a 0.5% closing rate. The broker annual revenue is 15K, agent annual revenue is 60K. You're already making more than the average agent. 13x return of ad spend. Cost per acquisition is $1,000. Total ROI for broker is 250. Total ROI for agent is 1,000% if you just follow up with the leads. Now, you make that number 1% conversion rate, you're making pretty much 6 figures in annual revenue, right? So it just goes to show, like, I can play around with this. I think the average price in the US is like about $350 for homes, right? You're making about 84K at 1% conversion rate, as long as you spend about $500 a month. If you spend about $300 a month, you're making about 50K, right? So the goal here, like, I know with us with $300 a month, 50K, we're in sales to make a lot. Let's just start with, let's walk before we run. And once we get this validated, then we can spend 300, then we can spend 600, then we can spend 900. Then some agents on our team, in a company spend like 8K a month, right? So that's how you would scale, guys. But yeah, let's leave this to questions. Patrick, you're on the call with me as well, so maybe you can do some account analysis if anyone has a request to. But guys, is any questions or anything about the process in general? Just let us know in the chat. Some of you guys might be watching on Facebook as well or on Zoom with us live, so feel free to ask us any questions in the chat.